Drought, the most deadly time for African wildlife. Besides food, water is also crucial to their survival. During this season, shrinking rivers become the biggest challenge for many wild animals. Small water sources become overcrowded. Herbivores and predators gather together. Securing a water source becomes their only hope for survival. Elephants lie in the water bay, while crocodiles feast here. For herbivores, drinking water is the deadliest moment. Crocodiles ambush animals coming to drink without hesitation. They rule this water bay. The dry season is their time to feast. This is Kruger National Park in South Africa. Once abundant water sources sustained a large number of wild animals, but this year's rainfall has been unusually scarce. The once wide river has turned into a narrow channel. This is just the beginning of the dry season, yet the river has already dried up. For now, only one water bay remains for the animals to drink from. It is like an oasis of life. But hippos and crocodiles do not want to share the last remaining water. These herbivores know how deadly crocodiles can be. The line between life and death is razor thin. In this water bay, more than 60 crocodiles lurk beneath the surface. Drinking water requires extreme caution. Oxpeckers stand on hippos to drink. No one pays attention to them. At this time, hippos are relatively calm. Besides oxpeckers, a young crocodile climbs onto a hippo's back to bask in the sun. A thirsty impala does not dare drink from the bay. Instead, it digs a hole in the ground to drink the water that seeps out. An hour later, crocodiles begin moving ashore, ready to bask in the sun. Meanwhile, some birds are fishing in the water bay. The dry season makes catching fish easier. They skillfully flip the fish a few times before swallowing it whole. Besides herons, other water birds are also hunting here. The water bay is rich in food, but they must watch out for lurking crocodiles. Green pigeons also drink at the water's edge, although they get moisture from their food. During the dry season, they still need to drink regularly. They drink freely, unaware that a crocodile is silently approaching. In an instant, the green pigeon is caught in the crocodile's jaws. At the same time, a group of crocodiles is feasting nearby on its struggling prey. It is a grand meal. Each crocodile gets a share of the feast. As the last bits of skin and meat are swallowed, the banquet comes to an end. That day, a thirsty lioness arrives to drink water. As she reaches the water hole, she hesitates. The surface is swarming with bees, forcing her to look elsewhere. She moves to the water bay and starts drinking. As a large feline, few animals pose a threat to her, except for crocodiles. A crocodile slowly inches closer. Sensing danger, the lioness reluctantly backs away, facing a massive crocodile. She refuses to take the risk, and ultimately leaves. As the drought continues, the scorching heat becomes unbearable. More and more animals gather here. A herd of buffalo arrives. These large beasts boldly step into the water to cool off. A buffalo feast, a grand opportunity. Crocodiles slowly begin to gather. But the hippos dislike their presence and drive the buffalo away. The crocodiles remain unfazed. They know that until the rainy season arrives, there will still be plenty of hunting opportunities. This water bay remains their perfect hunting ground. The scorching heat is especially harsh for nursing animals, making survival even harder. Prolonged dehydration causes their milk supply to dwindle, and their young ones also need water. A newborn spotted fawn may not yet understand the danger of crocodiles, while adult spotted deer drink cautiously by the water's edge. The fawn steps directly into the bay. In just an instant, the fawn is dragged underwater by a crocodile. Its mother watches helplessly, unable to do anything. To quench their thirst, many animals lose their lives. A few days later, the water bay shrinks further. Its waters are now murky and foul. The rains are delayed. If this continues, the bay may dry up completely soon. A month later, the once thriving water bay becomes a mud pit. Even so, many animals still gather here. Months of drought and hunger have made survival an unbearable trial. The fiercest crocodiles continue to feast. Prey is torn apart in the mud. Chunks of flesh, covered in sludge, swallowed whole. Every time crocodiles feed here, hippos always come to disrupt them. Upstream, in a small muddy pool, a female crocodile is resting. At midday, she slowly crawls out of the mud. Nearby, a spotted deer and her fawn come to drink. The young fawn, weakened by thirst, slips and falls into the muddy pool. Its body is completely covered in foul-smelling sludge. The mother approaches and sniffs it. The thick layer of mud masks its original scent, making it difficult for the mother to recognize her own fawn. The young spotted deer desperately follows behind its mother, but the mother treats it as a stranger. However, it doesn't matter. Once the mud falls off the young fawn, the mother will naturally recognize it again. Before long, the female crocodile returns. She eagerly dives back into the mud, swinging her head back and forth, as if searching for something. She opens her mouth. A few freshly hatched baby crocodiles wriggle inside her jaws. It turns out she left earlier to welcome her newborn offspring. These newly hatched crocodiles are easy targets for predators. A giant monitor lizard sets its eyes on them. Fortunately, their mother stands guard, dissuading predators from approaching. Although this female crocodile is a devoted mother, her young ones still face slim chances of survival. Under this extreme heat, newly hatched crocodiles may not even survive an hour. A few days later, the mud pit shrinks further. Desperate animals dig holes around it, trying to drink whatever seeps through the cracks. A dominant male wildebeest claims a small water hole. Even the tiniest trickle is fiercely guarded. Some female wildebeests are forced to risk drinking from the mud pit. Suddenly, chaos erupts nearby. A young wildebeest becomes the latest victim. Its mother refuses to abandon it. She charges at the crocodile that took her child. In a desperate struggle, she manages to snatch her child back, but the young wildebeest shows no signs of life. It is already too late. The drought continues. The last remnants of the mud pit are vanishing. Without the arrival of rain, none of the animals will survive. Yet the animals still linger around the pit, making their final stand. This place remains their last hope for survival. Whether they can survive is up to fate. Chaos and despair begin to descend here. The once lost oasis has become extremely cruel. The scavengers fight over the last remaining water. They begin to kill each other. The water hole is still controlled by the strongest ones. The lack of water and food forces them to hunt isolated antelopes. The young ones, some of these young ones have lost their mothers, or have been separated from them. Eventually, they become prey. A warthog searches for dead fish in the mud, but a young crocodile chases it away. The drought worsens. The crocodiles in the mud hole continue to hold their ground, blending in with the mud. A small scavenger gets its head bitten by a crocodile. Its companion tries to step in to help. A strong will to survive unleashes an incredible burst of energy. It twists and struggles, breaking free from the crocodile. Finally, it manages to escape. Survival brings no joy, because a harsher drought still awaits. A few days later, dark clouds gather. A timely rain, like nectar from heaven, saves this land. The crocodiles in the mudhole stir, as if reborn. Meanwhile, the catfish also become active again. The parched land eagerly absorbs the precious rain. At the same time, the crocodiles in the mudhole start to feast. Countless animals lie buried beneath the mud. Has the drought truly ended? Not really. Fate has only played a cruel joke on them. The drought still reigns over this land. The scorching heat quickly evaporates the brief rainfall. The hippos have already left, because this place has completely dried up. But a massive crocodile still remains, holding on to the last hope. But what was once a land of hope has long since become a land of scars. The other crocodiles hide in the bushes to escape the heat. The sun is scorching. It could claim their lives at any moment. The last crocodile stirs the mud hole, trying to escape the burning sun. More than a month passes. The once muddy pond has completely dried up. On the barren riverbed, only a skeletal corpse remains. Other crocodiles elsewhere have not been spared. The drought has claimed far more lives than just these crocodiles. In the caves along the riverbed, a few crocodiles still cling to life, praying for the rainy season to arrive. No one can stop the change of seasons. Hundreds of kilometers away, rainwater begins to flow downstream, bringing life back to this land. This precious water has been awaited for far too long, as if the cycle has come full circle. Despair and suffering will eventually fade, and this once hellish land will transform again.